Hello, everyone. Welcome to our next tasting. Hope you're all well. Hope you all had a great week. Seems like ages now since we've had an online tasting, but here we are. I think everyone for this particular tasting, we've gone live via YouTube. I've also got the broadcast going by Facebook. So if anyone does get lost or so, just come back on via there. But generally, everyone came through the link, so it's going to be completely fine. I'm just going to go off to check our social media, make sure we've got no messages from people that are lost. So I'm going to leave you here in the holding room just while I go and do that. But other than that, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. As you guys come in as well, I can see there's quite a lot of you already on. Just drop us a comment just to let me know you're here. But if not, I'll be back in 2 seconds. See you in a minute. I'm back. It looks like everyone's coming in of their own accord, which is fantastic. I love it when that happens. So yes, as I was saying, welcome to our next tasting. This one is, I guess, a little bit different from what we're used to. It's almost like an experiment, if you will, and I think it will go quite well. Hopefully it'll be the first of many as this particular style. I guess you can only really progress. You know, we started doing tastings back at the start of lockdown, saw how they went, then we started doing different kinds of spirits, then we started doing cocktails, and then the natural progression we thought we'd give it a go is to try a spa evening. And obviously, hopefully this one will go fantastically well. And just to give you a heads up as well, at the end of this particular tasting, if you have a really, really good time, we have got a one booked for Mother's Day as well, and I've already got the tickets ready lined up for that, so I'll share the link at the end of the evening, and then you can buy those straight away ahead of time, and you'll be ready with something to do for Mother's Day. I'm guessing we're pretty much still going to be in a particular style of lockdown. We'll see what Monday brings in terms of how we're going to be getting out of it, but I think it's definitely worth having something planned, and that's the one to go for. But for this evening, we've obviously got some gin to try, which are some fantastic gins again. And then we've got some great products brought to you by Jenny here from Neil's Yard. And she's going to run you through those. One thing she did mention, which I put on the scrolling bar here along at the bottom, is if you can have a bowl of warm water and a towel ready. I know she put a note of that in there, but if you haven't got that ready, you've got a couple of minutes before we really start going full on. So if you just go and grab something, that'd be fantastic. Just so you've got that ready. You should also have a tasting glass of some sort for your gins. And you've got your samples there, 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got your tonics. As we go along, always keep an eye on the scroll bar if you get a bit lost. So on there, I'll put which gin we're on. So that'll be, you know, bottle 1, bottle 2, bottle 3, bottle 4. And then there'll be the explanation of which product we're on as well from Jenny, and a brief sort of description of what it's in. So you've got different types of samples here, but always keep an eye on the scroll bar, then you won't get lost. Any questions, put them in the comments, and if either Jas or Jenny don't see them, I'll obviously bring those in and highlight it to the group, and then that'll be yeah, fantastic. But without further ado, I will bring in Jas, and then we can get going. Howdy.
Hey, how you doing? Hello, everyone. How are you? Sorry, I'm just doing an Instagram post. As you have.
So screen grab, yeah.
All right.
Let's take that off so it makes it bigger. Perfect. Yeah, so yes. I think everyone's coming in. I know I need to do a quick count of, I know there's a few people watching from the same household. I think we're about right on numbers, and there's no one lost in the groups or anything, so that'd be fine. And then once I jump back off, I'll go and share it all to the social groups anyway, so that'd be fine. But other than that, I think we're ready to get going, and I'll leave it to it.
Thank you. Hey guys, so as Shane said, it's our gin and spa tasting event tonight. We've got 4 really good gins, and we've paired them up with 4 really good beauty wellness products. And actually, it was Jenny. I'm going to bring Jenny on right now so you can all meet her. And Jenny actually came to us with the idea of doing this collaboration. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm going to let you do your bit in a minute and kind of give an introduction, but just for our audience tonight, I just want to sort of say Jenny came up with the idea to come up and do this collaboration. So she sort of came along with 3 or 4 different products, I think 5 products tonight, I think.
Yeah.
And we
got carried away.
Yeah, you got carried away. And we paired them up with different gins, you know, and they're not necessarily paired exactly, but they kind of bring out elements of some of the products that we're trying tonight. So we're going to sort of go gin, we're going to go product, we're going to go gin, product, gin, product. That's how it's going to work tonight. So there's lots and lots to get through. So while Jenny sort of does her introduction, I'm going to quickly introduce the first gin and tell you why we've paired it. So if you want to open up bottle number 1, we're going to jump straight in. Bottle number 1 in your kit. And this is Sacred Gin. So Sacred Gin, and it's the pink grapefruit. I'll tell you why we opted for Sacred in a while, but in the meantime, let's get your tasting glass. Get your bottle number 1. Let's pour half of the bottle into the glass. So we've got about 20 ml of the gin. And we'll give it a swirl like this and just let it open up a little bit. And as you can see, it's very, very creamy, lots of oils in the glass. If you go for a nose, you get past the alcohol. Percentage wise, we are at 43.8, so it's a nice kind of ABV. And you go, and the first thing you get is that lovely pink grapefruit, which is what it's all about on this particular gin. That beautiful pink grapefruit. And then behind that is you getting that juniper and just a hint of coriander as well, you know, some of that lovely sort of herbaceous kind of spice as well. And then that grapefruit really just dominates. So let's go for a little taste. A little bit on the tip of your tongue. And it's really fresh. It's really creamy. You can kind of feel that weight on your palate. And you get that lovely sort of tingle of pepper as well in the middle of your tongue. And it's really moreish. And that's a beautiful thing about citrus, because it just starts making your mouth work, and it really becomes moreish. So to this, we're going to add the Mediterranean tonic. So you've all got a little can of Mediterranean Fever Tree. So the ratio I like to add for tastings is a 2-to-1 ratio. So if we've got 20 ml of gin, then we want to add 40 ml of tonic. So you're working at 2-to-1, and this is purely for tasting purposes, because it just opens up the spirit enough and kind of gets a good ratio of kind of harmony between the tonic and the gin. So like I said, just do a 2-to-1 ratio. And then just let it quickly have a mix and go back. And you're still getting that pink grapefruit, but it's now not at the 4. You're getting a lot more of the other sort of hidden botanicals that were hiding when it's neat. while you sip that, I'm just going to plug my charger in because my laptop's about to run out. There you go. Okay, so you notice a change, right? So the pink grapefruit's still there, but it's much more open. It's much fresher. It's not as intense. It's more of a kind of a citrus that you're getting. And then that tonic has just brought out some of those other flavors. So you're getting a bit more of the juniper. Which tonic? Yeah. So we are using the Mediterranean tonic. Hang on. It's all back to front. There you go. Mediterranean. Yeah. Now, the pink grapefruit. Actually, you know what? Let's add the garnish, and then I will be quiet and pass it on to Jenny. So let's go with the pink grapefruit garnish. Okay. And what you want to do is cut a little peel like this. So you're just cutting the peel. We're not cutting any of the fruit. We're just cutting some of the peel off. Are you all with me here? And then we're going to hold it between our finger, index finger, middle finger, and thumb, like so. And then just hold it over the glass. So get your glass and then just give it a nice squeeze. And you'll see these lovely oils just burst out of the skin. And you can kind of smell all that lovely freshness of the pink grapefruit. Drop that in. And all we've done is added this lovely pink grapefruit. Actually, I've got red grapefruit. I couldn't get any pink grapefruit. But essentially, it's grapefruit. And it's kind of just enhancing now some of that lovely grapefruit flavor again that kind of died when we had the tonic. I'm just trying to keep up with his comments. Do we need to add garnish, Ruth? Yes, absolutely. Just as I showed you, we're adding the pink grapefruit. And as usual, we're squeezing the grapefruit into the gin. Now, while you let that kind of all marinate and kind of merge together, I'm going to pass you over to Jenny. So Jenny's going to tell us all about, well, Jenny as a business and what she does, and then introduce the first product.
I'm going to try and not drink too much of this gin as well, because that's great. Yeah, that's really refreshing. So yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Neal's Yard Remedies first of all, and what I do with Neal's Yard Remedies Organic. I don't know how much, might be nice put in the chat, any of you who've used Neal's Yard Remedy products before, and if you've had a party with a consultant or anything like that, would be really good to know. Neal's Yard Remedies is 40 this year. I also am 40 this year. I'm less pleased about that. And if you think back to 1981 when they would have started, and they've been banging the drum for organic, natural skincare that whole time. And back in 1981, that was like a time when all the skincare companies were putting more chemicals in. And we've sort of gone full circle now. So all of those companies are coming back to organic, natural, and vegetarian and vegan, and Neal's Yard are just carrying on doing the same thing. And they think about everything in terms of the ethics, and you know, well, they recycle all of their packaging. All of it is recycled or recyclable, upcycled as well. So I never throw anything away. I've got Neal's Yard pots dotted around the house, starting to look like a blue bottle zone. And yeah, everything is vegetarian, most things vegan, everything is natural, so there's no chemicals in anything. And it's really time, I think we're all trying to be a bit more responsible about where we source our skincare, and well, where we source everything really. And so you know that you'd be being responsible by buying any of their products. So in around 2006, Neal's Yard Remedies was bought by Peter Kindersley, and he, the Kindersley family actually, but they've sort of had, they knew about the direct selling and everything from Dorling Kindersley books. So that's where Neal's Yard Remedies Organic came in. So we're like the home channel, basically. So I work from home. It's my business, but it's all the same products. So I can kind of sell them in the way that I want. Most of the time it's through sort of pamper parties and people at home, which is really nice. It's like this, but sort of everyone on Zoom, and sometimes do one-to-ones. A lot of the products, well, everything's sort of down to aromatherapy and essential oils and things like that. So I didn't really know much about essential oils before doing this job. So, you know, there's always so much to learn, to do one-to-ones with people on essential oils, things like that. It's still actually quite new to me. I've been a musician all my life. So then COVID happened, and I had to sort of rethink what I'm doing. And this just sort of came along. It's just a brilliant opportunity, and it's come out of quite a negative time, but it's been just a brilliant, positive thing for me. The team are amazing, and I love the products. Hopefully you will too. So on that note, the first product we're going to do, it's a frankincense cleanser. It will be in one of your little clear pots like that, and it will have my tiny writing on the label. It's the creamy one, so you'll only have 2 pots there. Hopefully you've got your water and maybe a face cloth if you want one. This is the frankincense cleanser let's get it in the camera. This is how it is in the tube. I'm just holding it off screen.
I never get it right.
No. It's the mirror image thing as well, moving it in the wrong direction. So frankincense is such a huge part of Neal's Yard Remedies. If you go on their website, look in their catalogue, there's so much in the skincare, because it's brilliant for skin. It's been used for centuries as well. It's got really rejuvenating, healing, soothing properties, and it's the smell as well. It's just really uplifting, encourages deeper breathing, so it's almost meditative, clears the mind, everything like that. So you can use this dry or wet on the face. I prefer to wet my skin a bit. So I've got a face cloth, so I'm not splashing water everywhere, because that would be disaster. So just wet your face a little bit if you want, or keep it dry if not. And all the samples that I've given you should last for a few days. So they sometimes look a bit stingy, but they're actually pretty generous, because you don't need much product with Neal's Yard. So I've taken, let's get this in the camera the right way. So you can see how much that is. It's about the size of my nail. Just rub it between the fingers a little bit, just to soften it up. And before we use it, just try and just inhale the smell, and just, let me know what you think about that, because it just clears my mind completely. I use this morning and night, and just have a little moment where you just think, okay, everything's fine now. So just rub it gently on the skin. I sort of put it first on the cheeks and forehead, and just make sure it's sort of spread evenly through the face, and then rub in circular motions. So if you take anything from me tonight, it's all about the upward circular motions. Okay, so never downwards. There's gravity will do that to our skin already. We don't need that to help it. So always upwards circular motions. Nice, Jazz. I saw you doing that.
Yeah, I was practicing. I thought, that makes sense.
Gotta push the skin up. See. And I did this in a team meeting a couple of weeks ago, where we watched a short video at the same time, and it was a sort of a bit of a mindful exercise. And the video was 2 minutes long, which is nothing. It's so short, and yet we get so used to spending so little time on our skincare. We sort of get into the bathroom, chuck it in, and just wash our face and go. But actually, just massaging it in for a couple of minutes, after a few seconds, you sort of get into it, and the benefits are amazing. 2 minutes is nothing. So especially at night, it will really sort of relax the skin, relax your mind, and then you'll sleep better. Promise. The gin helps with that as well.
Yeah.
And concentrate on the areas where you have most tension as well. So I get most of my attention in my jaw. Some people are sort of in their forehead, some people around their mouth. Just wherever you get the most tension in your face, just like concentrate on those areas, and you'll really feel the benefits. And then just wash it off. So again, either just splash water on, or wash it off with a damp face cloth, but just don't rub too much, because you don't want to sort of undo all of that soothing goodness that you've done. This does come with a muslin cloth as well, so you can use this to give like a bit of a more sort of vigorous cleanse and almost exfoliates it. It's just all personal choice, and you know what suits your skin as well, how sensitive your skin is. But there's just a wipe my face before I start talking into my cloth. This is great in winter as well because it's a creamy cleanser. So it's got loads of it's got things like baobab, seed oil, coconut oil, cocoa butter, cocoa seed butter, which are all really moisturizing. So a lot of cleansers can be quite astringent and you feel like you're taking your skin off and you feel like they are stripping away, and this actually really nourishes the skin at the same time as cleansing it, but it will take all that makeup off as well at the end of the day, because it's natural. It's great on, you know, you can use it on the eyes as well if you want. So yeah, and it's also got mandarin peel in it, which has plenty of vitamin C, and aloe vera, which is really soothing on the skin. My skin, of course, is going bright red from the lights, but it should be cooling and soothing the skin.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hopefully now your mind is you've gone into that lovely gin and spa zone.
Amazing, love it. Okay, good. So, and what does that cost? How much would that normally cost?
That cleanser is £21. There's a lot. You can spend as much as you want on frankincense range. There are 3 different ranges. This is from the rejuvenating range, which is, I guess, their basic range. They also have frankincense intense age defying and frankincense intense lift. And it just depends how much you're worrying about aging, fine lines and wrinkles, and things like that. So this is from, yeah, as I say, the more basic range.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, £21, I'm pretty sure. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong.
And frankincense is obviously the main. Is that the range, or is there actually frankincense in the product?
Yes, there's frankincense in the product. In fact, I meant to show you what frankincense is, because most people, including me before I started this job, have no idea what frankincense actually is. And they source it from Oman, and it's all sourced in traditional methods, and it's resin from the tree, which is then dried out in the sun. And it's from that the essential oils are produced. And it's called Pearl of the Desert. And I've got some here. This is some black frankincense.
Okay.
Which you can sort of see that kind of resiny, you can see it glinting a little bit. Yeah, which is amazing. And I have this in my room to just smell every now and again.
Yeah, I love that. Where'd you get that from?
Amazon. I just thought it was, trying to describe it to customers, and just sort of failing slightly unless I show a video. And I just thought, right, I just need to get hold of some actual frankincense because it's fascinating. Apparently myrrh is quite similar as well. I think there is myrrh in this as well. So you can make, yes, whatever baby Jesus jokes that you'd like to put in.
Yeah. I mean, frankincense smells lovely. It just smells so good. Really nice. So Emma's got a couple of questions. So Emma, yeah, we are using Sacred pink grapefruit. That's a gin. I'm not a fan of pink grapefruit normally, but the Sacred one I think is absolutely amazing. And the reason why we chose Sacred, so Sacred is a gin distillery in Highgate, North London, started by a couple called Hilary and Whitney. And basically he was a victim of the financial crisis 2008, decided to move back to London, back to his family home where he grew up, and set up a gin distillery. So I think we started stocking the gin pretty much straight away, 2013. And the reason why Sacred, so this has actually got frankincense in it, which is why we paired it with the first product that Jenny's shown. And actually the name Sacred, so Hilary basically spent his week coming up with gin recipes, and then on a Sunday night he would take it to his local pub in Highgate, I forget the name, and try it out with his mates and the regulars in the pub. And he had 31 different recipes before he came up with the final gin that was most liked by the group. And the key thing about that particular recipe, it had frankincense in it. And the scientific name or Latin name, I forget which, probably a scientific name for frankincense, is Boswellia sacra. And so he took that sacra.
Yeah.
Is it there? There you go.
I've got it labelled on my frankincense pot.
There you go. And so he took the sacra and extended it and made it sacred. So the whole kind of ethos of the brand is centered around the frankincense. The frankincense plant or rock or whatever it is. And so this is why we used it in our first gin today. I hope you're really liking it. And also, I am not using any of the products tonight. Maybe later in my private time. I'm sure Shane's using it behind the screen because he's not on screen at the moment. And yeah, so that is where we are with Sacred. I hope you really liked it. I finished mine while we were chatting, but yeah, Donna asked if she could add frankincense bitters. You know what? If you've got it, add it because it's in there, and you've got frankincense all over your face. So add it in. Why not? Why not? Yeah. So do they need time before the next product, or can we kind of jump straight in with that?
We can go on to the next product if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay. So the next, we're going to go on to a bit of a treatment now. So I've just seen Emma, £21 for the cleanser. There you go. And I don't know how much. Yeah, how much for the gin?
The gin is $14.95. But you will get 15% discount because you're on the tasting tonight. So whatever that works out to.
Oh, and also, yes, that's reminded me. I'm going to forget things that I need to say. On the back of one of my cards, so I've got a business card, and on the back of that, which was also in the bag, you'll see a couple of offers that I've given you. So £5 off your first order of £35 or more, and also an extra gift if you book me to. If you host a party. So I'll talk to you a bit more about that later,
all about that. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, in case I forget, just have a little look at that. So yeah, when we're doing our sort of skincare routine, normal routine, daily routine would be cleanser, toner, maybe a serum, and then moisturizer. And then once or twice a week, depending on your skin type, skin sensitivity, and sometimes time of year as well. We want to change up our skincare sometimes depending on winter, summer, dehydration, all of that. You also want to do a bit of a treatment, which is where the scrub comes in. So the next one is the honey and orange scrub, which again is in the other clear pot, but this is the sort of grayer, thicker texture. And it comes in a pot like this if you buy it. I'm still not getting the hang of the whole mirror thing. So this, you definitely do need to get your face wet first as well, because otherwise it'll just be a little bit too, you'll feel the effects. This is it's a really scrubby scrub. So you'll see the particles are really thick. So polishers are also available, which are slightly looser in texture. But I really like this. This is just, you don't have to do anything with this. It kind of does the work for you. So just make sure your face is nice and wet before using this. And again, you don't need much. So I'll show you maybe a little bit more than the cleanser, but not much. That's how much I've got on. And just loosen it up a little bit in your fingers and you'll feel that texture. Now, the exfoliant in it is organic rice powder. So because it's Neil's Yard Remedies, it's all completely natural, of course. So then let's just rub on the face the same way as the cleanser. So just make sure it's sort of evenly covered and then upward circular motions. And you can feel you don't have to work it at all. It does it all for you. It's just, I sort of, as you can probably see, I sort of rub it in quite slowly. It's quite, it's almost meditative and you can really feel it working away. Now, the reason we need to use scrubs and polishes on our skin is to get rid of those dead skin cells. And this is especially important in winter. It feels almost sort of the opposite. It feels sort of contradictory, because it feels like you're kind of getting rid of the top layer of your skin. But actually we need to do that because the dead skin cells don't absorb moisture as well. So if you want your skin to stay fresh and absorb moistures, make the most of the active ingredients of your products and things, and stay healthy, then you need to make sure that you get rid of this top layer. So you'll feel it getting a little bit grittier, and then just wash it off. And yeah, the honey and orange scent I absolutely love. I use this a lot at Christmas because I don't know if anyone else agrees with me, but I think it smells of Terry's chocolate orange, which is always a bonus. The honey is super moisturizing as well. Honey products are amazing for the skin. So beeswax, propolis, it's just really healing and really moisturizing. So that traps all the moisture. So again, you've got a treatment which isn't a moisturizer, but it is actually really doing your skin good. And then you've also got the orange essential oil, which has plenty of vitamin C, which is brilliant for regeneration of the skin, and it's really cleansing as well. So this is a really good way to just cleanse your skin and get it ready for then the following products that you're going to use. So yeah, I would suggest that once to twice a week would be perfect for using these, and just removes the impurities and smooths the skin, etc. And don't rub the skin too much. In fact, you should pat it when you're sort of getting rid of it, so you don't undermine that smoothing effect that you've just had. And yeah, it's obviously no microbeads in it. Neil's Yard Remedies have never used microbeads, never used any plastic microbeads, and they were actually part of the campaign, the Ban the Bead campaign, which was successful. When they successfully campaigned, lobbied the government to ban beads, and I think the UK government ended up sort of passing legislation which is sort of one of the strictest bans on microbeads and plastic in products in the world. So they sort of really set the way, and I'm quite proud that Neil's Yard Remedies are part of that. And I mean, why would you put plastic in your product when you've got things like rice powder, and then use salt in the body scrub, and rosehip seeds and the polishes, and then you've got all the brilliant things, you know, they've got amazing properties, skin healing properties within them as well. So yeah, don't use microbeads. Use natural. It's my message.
I notice when you talk, all the chat goes quiet. I guess that's because they're using both their hands and they're kind of occupied. Yeah, obviously, let us know how you're getting on with the products as well, as you're going along. So that is the face scrub. That's your face scrub, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how people find that, actually, because I know and how people find the smells actually of all of them, because you know, our sense of smell is so instinctive. It's the one sense that actually goes straight to the brain without any processing. It's just if you like a smell, then you like it, and it's attached to emotions, it's attached to nostalgia, and changes every day as well. So see in the background, I've got my diffuser going. I've got ylang ylang in there tonight, but that was just chosen by me smelling it. I didn't look at the pots and decide it. It's just because your sense of smell tells you what you want and what you need and things. So yeah, if you like something, you know instantly. There's no processing involved.
Okay. All right. So I'll jump onto our next gin, and I haven't paired necessarily flavor or aroma on this second one. I've kind of gone with that freshness and that sort of clean feeling that you're going to get after a scrub. So the second gin we've got, so we're moving on to bottle number 2, and this is called Wildcat Gin. So bottle number 2, and you can see it here. So it's really kind of nice looking bottle here, and it's called Wildcat. And let's pour the gin. Let's make the gin, the gin first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the gin itself. So in your glass, about 20 ml is what we're going to pour. And we're going to give it a swirl like so. There you go. Some good comments about the scrub. If you can see them.
Soft as a baby's bottom. Excellent.
Yeah, there you go. So this is much more toned down in strength. This is down to 41.5. And if you go into it, it is a classic London dry. You know, there's kind of this lovely sort of hint of kind of almost nutty coconut right in the background, but at the fore it's very citrusy. You're getting a bit of coriander behind that, and also that juniper is obviously undeniable, and that will kind of present itself in sort of pine and lavender kind of notes. So really, really nice. Just a good, clean London dry gin. And again, it's really just about sort of replicating that kind of fresh, cleansing sort of feel that you have on your face. So let's go for a little taste. And again, you get past that pine, that juniper. There's a touch of pepper there as well. And actually not so citrusy on the palate when it's neat. It's more about all those other botanicals in there, the coriander and the star anise, you know, not star anise, I'll remember in a second. It's that peppery angelica root, and you know, all those kind of lovely kind of spicier notes is what I'm getting. And to this we're going to add the Fever Tree, the Indian tonic, so the light tonic. So slightly darker. You've got the Mediterranean, which is the darker one, and you've got the light, which is obviously a light color. And again, we're going to go for a 2 to 1. Yeah, Shay says it's piney at the start. Citrusy runs through it all the way. And actually, the citrus is coming from. The botanical they've used in here to give it that real citrusy flavor is it's called the Wildcat Claw. I don't know what it looks like, but obviously it's giving this lovely citrusy flavor. So with this, we're going to add the tonic, and then we're going to just give it a swirl around. And there you go. Yeah, I think Emma's saying it's a harshness. It's probably that touch of pepper. I think is what's giving that kind of punch. But hopefully with the tonic, that's softened down and that citrus comes through. But let's see. Yeah, definitely. Now is much more rounded. You know, you lost some of that pepper and that more floral notes are coming through. That citrus is sort of there by citrus oil, and on the nose it's much cleaner, much fresher as well, and that juniper's kind of just sort of gone backwards a little bit. Yeah, really good. I think as a G&T, just a good London dry gin and tonic. I think it works really well. And to this we're going to add a lemon peel. So we've got, again, we're working with our peels, so we've got to take the lemon, just take a little bit of a peel. Much nicer with a tonic, can really taste the citrus. Yeah, and absolutely, Paul, the tonic brings out that citrus flavor, and we're only going to enhance that now by using our lemon peel. So again, I've taken a peel, just a little bit. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to squeeze it over the glass, and all those lovely fresh zesty oils will just pop out and kind of just spill over the glass, over the edge. And straight away, it's just this lovely kind of almost lemon sherbet kind of nose. And yeah, Shane's getting the cardamom, yeah. And it's just really fresh. It's just really kind of moorish. It's just a nice, easygoing drink. You know, it's not at the same level, right? It's not at the same level in terms of quality spirit, shall we say, as the first one, but you know, it's in a different price range. But as a gin, as a London dry gin that's really nice and just easy, I think this works really well. Now the story of the gin itself is it's a funny one. So it's called Wildcat, right? And they've played on this whole theme of the cat. So if you see on the actual emblem, there's a cat on there, and the cat, and it also says knock once, knock twice, knock thrice. And this is really important to the story of gin. So the cat as a animal plays quite a big part in gin. The tomcat, old Tom Gin, and there was this captain. He's an Irish guy. He's called Captain Dudley Bradstreet, and he was tasked by the British government to kind of wipe out all the illicit distilleries across London, and that was his job. What he actually started doing was, while he was doing that for the government, he started creating what is probably the first vending machine. And so in little hidden doorways, he'd have a little black cat, and the black cat had a little hole in its mouth, and people would knock once, twice, thrice, put a little 2p piece in the cat's mouth, and then someone would dispense a little tot of gin from the tail. So while he was wiping out all the illicit gin distilleries, he had his own little side business going on, serving gin. And so this was the idea of the tomcat. And so it became synonymous with gin. People would find these little cats, put a little 2p piece in, and get a little tot. And so that's kind of all about what Wildcat gin is. But as I say, the actual name comes from the wildcat claw that they've given, which gives that lovely citrusy flavour. Yeah, so let us know. Obviously, like I said, some people are going to love number one, some are going to love number two. We've still got some really good gins to come. But as a straight G&T, have you got some of this, Jenny? Did you get some?
Yeah, I'm trying to restrain myself. So I purposely only brought up shot glasses so that I couldn't actually have too much. So I'm going to go through them tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, completely different with the tonic. I love that. It changed so much more than, you know, a lot of gins do. I love the pine in it as well, actually.
Yeah, and the pine is kind of, that's that juniper, which gives it that lovely pine nose. Yeah, and that's the thing with gins, you have to get the right tonic. You can't just put any old tonic with any old gin. Has to be matched. And it's really interesting to see the gin neat and then see how it's sort of journey as you add the bits to it. But definitely try the citrus peel when you have it tomorrow, because that makes all the difference. Anthony says he didn't know that story. It's probably because I made it up, Anthony. No, I didn't make it up. It's a real story. But what do you think of the gin? Let us know if you like the gin, and see how
Emma's giving me full disclosure, Emma is my neighbour.
I know, and that's yeah, I realised. Yeah, so that's our gin number 2, Wildcat Gin. If you're just looking for a good London dry, it's probably a good one to go for. It's on the shelf at around 33 online. I'm not sure what it is online, but it's going to be obviously a little bit cheaper than that. But yeah, it's just a good London dry style of gin. You should definitely try it tomorrow, Jen.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to it. I think I think my husband would have something to say if I didn't leave him some as well. So yeah, we'll be on these tomorrow night.
Very good. So just tell me, because I'm going to ask some silly questions because I have no idea about spa treatments and what it is that you're actually doing here tonight, you know, in terms of what we're doing. But are you doing like a journey of like a process of products? So
yes,
in order as you would do them, if you were doing them, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, I mean, it's sort of different, you know, when I'm holding parties for hosts, sometimes hosts have really specific ideas on what projects they'd like to try. Maybe they want a relaxing evening, maybe they actually want to concentrate on hands and feet, or you know, things like that. But I just thought it would be good to do a facial, so we actually do it in the steps that we would do, except obviously normally when we do our facial first thing in the morning, we wouldn't have gin after every step, but some people might, but no judging.
It's lockdown, you know. It's lockdown. You haven't got to get on a train or drive a car, so why not?
Whatever we need to get through.
Exactly.
I just thought this is sort of the best way. It's a sort of a sequence. So the next two products, in fact, we will use together, because then you really see the benefits of how they kind of help each other. The last product that we use isn't necessarily a facial. It's a bit of a multitasker, but I will explain when we get there.
Cool.
So,
okay, so over to you, Jen.
We go on to the next two products. So for the next two, as I say, we'll do them together. So if you get ready, the rose toner, which is in this tiny, tiny little bottle, blue bottle, and beauty sleep concentrate, which is the smaller of the sachets. It's like that. So my full size products, of course, this is the toner, lovely glass bottle, and the beauty sleep concentrate is there. So those are the products that we're looking at. And the blue bottles, Neal's Yard is famous for its blue bottles. It's just another example of how they think of everything. It's not just because they think they're beautiful, although they are. The blue glass actually protects the products from UV light, which means that they last longer, they keep their potency, and they don't have to sort of pump them full of preservatives. So that's how they keep everything natural and yet working so well. So yeah, these blue bottles have a function. So doing a toner, and then the beauty sleep concentrate is actually a serum rather than a moisturizer. The toner, people sometimes sort of, I think there are a few myths around toners, why we use a toner, and I think a lot of people just sort of give up on that step of their sort of skincare routine. Toners are like, they start the hydration process. So because they're like water, that kind of texture, the skin absorbs them really easily, and it's like a primer. So like we put primer on our skin for makeup, before the base of makeup, we use this before we use serums and moisturizers, because then it actually makes the active ingredients in any moisturizers that we use, the skin absorbs them much better. So you're actually making them more efficient, and so you don't need to use as much product, which is why we're going to use them together. So the rose toner, this it's good for normal skin and sensitive skin as well, because it's really cooling. Rose is really refreshing, and it balances the skin, and it's the same effect on the mind as well. So you've got that sort of aromatherapy influence from it as well. So just have a little smell of it and you get the freshness. And you've also got aloe vera and there's glycerin in it, so they're really great for the skin. So this is also where you need the cotton wool pad that I put in. You can also put an atomizer on top of a toner bottle and just spray it on as well, but if you use cotton wool pad and just really lightly sweep it on, so you're not actually like manipulating the skin anyway, just really lightly. It's like, it's so refreshing. I think this sort of step in the middle of my skincare routine it just cools everything down. It's great. And it's really hydrating, really refreshing. And once you've done that, then let's open the beauty sleep concentrate and have a whiff of this. This is the beauty sleep range of Neal's Yard is, I think, probably my favorite range. There's loads of botanicals in this, loads of botanicals, it's like it's a gin, loads of active ingredients and essential oils in it. So just have a little smell. So open the packet and just take in the smells. You've got ylang ylang, patchouli, clary sage, there's cypress in there, orange oil, I have to write down all the ingredients because there's so many in there. You've got grapeseed oil, cocoa seed butter, and aloe vera, which are all great on the skin, and narcissus bulb extract. That's the other essential oil. So all this balances. It's a balance that's sort of designed to work with the harmonies of your body's rhythms, which is why it's called beauty sleep. So they're all really relaxing. So take sort of about the same amount as a cleanser, maybe a little bit less actually, because it's really light. So that's how much I've got on my finger. And as a serum, differences between serums and moisturizers, serums actually go further beneath the skin, so they really work on the moisturizing from beneath. And so really lightly spread it on the skin before upward circular motions, and just really take in the smell, because it's just, I think it's absolutely divine. This, and it genuinely works as well. I was quite sort of skeptical about the effect that it had, not on the skin but on the whole sleep process. I think there have been a lot of us recently, sleep patterns have been somewhat disturbed thanks to stress, lockdown, whatever, and when I was going through a really sort of sleepless patch, I thought, right, I'm just going to go full beauty sleep and just see how it works. So there's a beauty sleep foaming bath which I used, there's a relaxing roll-on, and I also had meditation oil blend in my diffuser, and I just went sort of full on with all the beauty sleep regime, and it genuinely was the best that I'd slept in weeks. It should really work, and of course it's great for the skin as well. So it's this overnight is when the skin really regenerates, and it's doing all its best repair work. So all of those ingredients will really get to work. Hopefully you will wake up tomorrow morning with amazing skin. Yeah, let me know what you think of those different scents and the texture as well. If your skin's really dry, you can now follow that with a moisturizer. Not everyone uses a serum, and then sometimes if you have a serum like this that's quite creamy, then you don't always need a moisturizer afterwards, although in winter most of us do. So yeah, let me know what you think of those smells.
Amazing. So just remind us of the two products again.
So rose toner, rehydrating rose toner, and beauty sleep concentrate.
Amazing. Lovely. So that brings me on to gin number 3. So I mean, so we had lots of ingredients in those two different products, didn't we? Loads of different flavors and smell, well, not flavors but aromas and different ingredients to affect your skin. So what we've gone for here is a gin that also has a big flavor, and has lots of unusual botanicals in there, such as kaffir, lime and straw, and ginger. So very different and a unique style of gin. It comes in this lovely box, which is this. So it's called Theodore Pictish Gin, and it comes, and you can see these amazing looking people are painted on there, a man and a woman. Now the Pictish people, so this is made by a company, a new whiskey company actually in Ardros, and like many new whiskey companies, they started making whiskey and then realized there was going to be a gap before whiskey turned to whiskey, so they'll start making gin. Now Ardros as a location in Scotland was at home to the Pictish people, and the Pictish people were these crazy super tough warriors who fought off the Romans, they fought off the Vikings, so they never really got into that part of Scotland. They would paint themselves, as you saw on the box, in these crazy colors, and they were just absolute beasts of a people. So the theory of the gin is to create something that's equally big and strong and bold, and we're going to see that. So we're going to pour again bottle number 3. This is bottle number 3. It comes in this amazing looking bottle as well.
Bottle. It's beautiful.
It does look cool. It does look really good. And also, I don't know if you can tell, the color's slightly, you know, it's just slightly darker as well. And that's a straw. They're using straw in there in the botanical mix, and so that colors the liquid. But let's pour some into our glass. Yeah, of course, it's definitely bold on the smell. Yeah, I mean, straight away, it's very unusual. Very unusual. Probably in the nose, it's just a whole big mesh of all the different botanicals in there. As Shane says, yeah, Shane's pointing out the rose and ginger. I think the ginger's definitely in there.
Oh yeah,
the rose. Did you get anything, Jenny?
I'm getting the vanilla. I was trying to work out what it was, and then I saw Shane put vanilla. I thought, yeah, vanilla. Yeah, definitely getting that.
Yeah,
it's lovely.
That's probably, you know, some of that woodiness as well. And there's also, it's that pink grape. There's a pomelo in there, which is like a type of grapefruit. There's that citrus right at the front. So that's really kind of there at the start. And then I think you're moving into some of those other flavors and aromas. Every time I smell this, I'm getting something different. Exactly, Paul. That is really true. And that's because there's so many things in here. That citrus is at the front, that's for sure, and then it starts working through the layers. But you know what? If you, I mean, it's interesting because if you next time you try this and you pour out the rest of your bottle, just leave it in your glass for, you know, 5, 10, 15 minutes and keep going back to it, and you'll see how it evolves and opens up. But let's go for a little taste. For me, wow, that ginger is at the end, is like really fiery, and then in the middle I got the rose, and then at the start I was getting that lovely citrus, and then it kind of dries off, right? And it dries off with just this sort of, it's that woodiness, that straw, I think, that's in there is kind of finishing off. Percentage wise, 43. But yeah, Ruth, that kick that you refer to is definitely that ginger. It's not the spirit. So the spirit is one thing, and then what you get on your palate, people might think of as the alcohol, but it's not. It's the ingredients, and that is definitely that ginger that's giving you that lovely fiery, you know, kind of fiery end to it. Yeah, Emma, yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Some violet. Donna's getting some violet. That's interesting. There's definitely lots of flowers in there, floral notes. Yeah. I've got to search for that violet. So just before we have the tonic, I just want you to try one thing, and that's just to take a sip and hold it on your palate, hold it in your mouth for about 5 seconds, and just see how that really kind of opens up the spirit, and you'll see a big difference. And what you actually get at the finish is that pepper, that ginger is there, but it's just a tingle, the sweetness of the ginger. But the rose is the thing that I'm getting the biggest part of. It's almost like the middle part of the spirit is the thing that I'm getting the most of. And also that lime, that kaffir lime and pomelo, I think I'm getting as well. But yeah, so Georgina straight in. Okay, so tonic wise, we're going to add Mediterranean. Right, so we're going to go with a Mediterranean tonic. You know, it's a weird one because with a gin like this, it's very tricky. What do you balance it with? There's so much in the gin. Do you keep it clean with a tonic? But I kind of feel like maybe you want something that's also got a bit more flavor on the tonic as well, just to kind of marry with all those big flavors in the gin. So we've added the Mediterranean tonic. I'm just going to take a little sip before we add our garnishes. And definitely I'm getting much more of that citrus coming through at the start now. Jenny, are you a gin fan?
I am, yeah. I've got
Yeah.
I've got a building collection downstairs. Yeah, I really like that. And it is totally different when drinking that neat. The sort of the ginger, the heat that you get in it made me think, okay, this is a winter gin. But then you add tonic, and actually, it could be a summer gin as well. If I was having that neat, it would be sort of the end of a winter's night. Like the heat that you get from the ginger and the pepper. It's really lovely.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Does it have pink peppercorn? No, not that I know of, Ruth. I don't think it does have pink peppercorn, but there is obviously lots of botanicals in there, and I think that ginger is giving that fire. That's what I think it is. But as we add the tonic, it does round off that spice and that pepper, right? And it kind of opens it up to all the other things that were hiding at the neat strength. So what we're going to do to this, we're going to add some of the ginger. So you all should have a piece of ginger. I've just got a very, very slim piece. I'm going to chuck that in there, and also I'm going to add a piece of lime. Okay, and again I've got the peel, and I'm just going to again do my squeeze and drop. But I find with the lime, it doesn't work as well when you try and squeeze it. So maybe just twist it over the glass and just kind of get some of those oils out. And really what we're doing is we're kind of bringing that ginger back. We're enhancing some of that citrus, that pomelo. And we're going to let the gin take us on that journey that it's meant to do. And just go for a taste now. And now that vanilla that someone mentioned earlier really comes through. And you're getting that citrus. You're getting some of that lovely sweet spice. You're getting that. Actually, the ginger kind of comes right at the end now. And there's that floral note in the middle. Yeah, and then the ginger right at the end. But it's like the ginger spice is gone. It's more of that sweetness of the ginger. And it just finishes off really nicely. For me, it's such a good gin. I love the gin. The actual gin itself. So the guys mentioned earlier behind the gin are distillers, as in whiskey company. But they wanted to make this big gin, so they wanted to set itself apart from the rest of the pack. So they actually employed an olfactory, and he obviously is an expert in smell and taste and stuff. And so he came up with this recipe and this sort of botanical mix that was really different, and this style of making gin that was really different. And he also employed a guy called Kevian who makes perfume. And they came up with this way of making this gin that was really about the aroma, about the smell, and about having everything kind of sing, and all these different flavors that are in there having their place in the gin and nothing really being hidden. And hopefully you can all see that. And some of you are going to get different things coming through, but they all kind of show themselves really, really nicely, I think, as a gin. The ginger is like the aftertaste. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is a lovely gin. I think for me, this is the highlight gin of the night for me. I think it's got so much complexity. Have you ever had any of the gins tonight, Jen, that we're trying?
No, I was which was sort of what I was hoping. I'd hoped to find some new things, and I love this one. It's good. I love also that it's all about the sense of smell as well, which is what I'm doing as well.
Exactly. So, exactly. Yeah. So it seemed like an obvious one to fit in terms of what the gin's about and what it's kind of meant to be. I think a lot of people are liking it. It is different, that's for sure, and there's a lot going on. Some people just might prefer a cleaner style of gin, but if you want something different in your cupboard, something that has, you might just have one of. I mean, I think this in a Negroni, for example, would be amazing. I think as a martini might be quite nice, even though martinis are meant to be quite clean. I think to vary it up and change it up, I think it'd be quite good. It's just a very nice gin to have, I think, and mix up. And also, it's got all these unusual botanicals, like, you know, the ones that you just introduced in your third intro.
Yeah,
Good.
I think, you know, I bet it'll taste different on different days as well, because you'll just sort of pick out the things. It's like when you have cravings for certain things, it's because your body needs things, and it's the same, isn't it? Your sense of taste sometimes changes a bit. I bet that tastes different on different days. And
yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think you're right, because this is a kind of gin that could be, as you said, well, I think you said it earlier, it could be a winter gin, or it could be a summer gin.
Yeah,
you know, and you can kind of
neat.
Yeah,
it's great. I really like it.
Oh, Anthony, you're too floral for my palate. Do you know what? I thought this might be up your street. I thought it might have enough going on to kind of yeah. I really like it. I really like it. I think there's enough of that ginger in there to give it some backbone. Cool. And also it's a great gift because it comes in this lovely box, and a lot of you will know that gin doesn't necessarily come boxed or packaged. So this excellent tube is a great gift. So, and you can play around with the heads and swap around between the girl and the boy. So, Jenny, do you want to introduce your? Is it the last one? Right?
It's the last one, yeah. So we are going full floral now. Yes. So you should have one sachet left, which is the Wild Rose Beauty Balm, and this is Niels Yaldromedie's bestseller product. So I put this in all of my parties because, well, I kind of have to really, but everyone just loves it, and it's quite different to other things. I'm just going to show you. Well, this is the pot, and it comes in a beautiful box. I can reach over there, and so the packaging is quite different. You know, most of the Niels Yard stuff has sort of quite similar designs with that sort of design, the plain colours and a lot of the blue. This design was actually done for the product's 10th anniversary in 2014. So it's been out since 2004. It's been a bestseller for sort of nearly all of that time. It now has a whole range of other stuff in the Wild Rose products, and they were only brought in this last summer in 2020. So until then, it was just the beauty balm, but now there's Wild Rose body lotion, body polish, shower gel. There's a serum, which is amazing, which is a bit like the beauty sleep concentrate. And it is a complete multitasker. So they call it a one-pot wonder, which is also why it's a bit of a bestseller, because you can basically use it anywhere that you might need some like bit of super hydration, real nourishment. So you can use it as a cleanser. You can use it as an exfoliating cleanser. Again, it comes with a muslin cloth. You can use it as an overnight treatment. So put it on your skin, leave it overnight, put it on your hair. And you can also have give yourself a bit of a spa treatment and put it on the skin, and then heat your muslin cloth up with hot water and lay it over, and then just inhale all of the aromas and have sort of 10 minutes of spa treatment, which is amazing, before rinsing it off. You can use it sort of as a bit of a makeup highlighter, so cheekbones, eyebrows, lips, cracked heels, elbows. I use it on my nail cuticles. I mean, it really is, you can just use it anywhere. What it is, basically, it's quite a different texture to anything else. And that's because a balm is the most nourishing of any of the sort of moisturizer type things. So you've got, you know, the oils and serums, which are quite lightweight, and then moisturizers, and then balms. And it's super nourishing because it's a condensed oil, which sort of explains its texture. And it's quite sort of hard at first, and then you sort of squidge it a bit and it will really loosen up, and you need the tiniest bit. So I would just put this anywhere where you think your skin needs just a little bit of nourishment. So just get your eyebrows done if you want as well. I just love it on my nails and my cuticles. I started doing this just when I was doing parties, because I'd be talking away about the product and I'd have it on my hands and didn't want to waste it. So I'd just be doing my nails. And I suddenly realised a few parties in, my nails are usually quite a bit of a state of really sort of cracked skin around the edges, and they are better than they've ever been now, just because I keep putting this on. And anytime you get any sort of little dry bits of skin, it can be good on things like if you have eczema, psoriasis. It's not sort of, we wouldn't recommend it specifically for those treatments, but it definitely has been known to help. So yeah, it's just fantastic. The wild rose, it's so the main ingredient is the rosehip seed. Rosehip seed oil is unbelievable for the skin. So it's full of antioxidants, vitamin A, vitamin E, which are all sort of specifically brilliant for the skin. We've also got geranium, patchouli and frankincense essential oils in as well. So it's funny, actually, this morning I was using this, like we were saying earlier with the gins, how your sense of smell can change. And it just, when I put this on this morning, and I could actually smell the herbs more in it than I usually do. It's almost smelled like a different product. And then other days it will be really floral.
That's amazing.
So you do get sort of different things from it. And you can, I mean, when I first started working for Neal's Yard Remedy, people were still talking about products in terms of in the context of summer, basically. And so this was sort of sold as the one thing that you could take on holiday, because it's brilliant for your hair, your skin, whenever you're sort of, you know, sand and sea and sun, and it's, you know, brilliant on sunburn, and you can use it as your cleanser to take your makeup off. Then you can use it as a treatment overnight to moisturize as well, so you don't need to pack anything else. But I've also found now, using it myself through winter, it's brilliant when, you know, when it's been really cold, sort of going out in the morning for runs or walks and super cold wind. I just put some on my cheeks as just to protect, and I'm not coming in with sort of red raw cheeks anymore. So
so you do that before you go out?
Yeah, because it's got that because it's a condensed oil, it's got that sort of, it's like a protective layer, really. So yeah, it's fabulous. Yeah, it's just it does say on it one pot wonder, and that's why I think my upline did a sort of a survey amongst her customers of the different uses that people have for it, and she came up with a list of 33 different uses. Some of them slightly off the wall, but yeah, that's just amazing. It's just among her customers. And actually she started her introduction to Neal's Yard and becoming a consultant like me was just through this product. She fell completely in love with it, and yeah, thought, right, okay, I need to sell this. I've seen someone asking, how much is this one? This is £40. And
what size? What's that come in? What's it look like?
This is a pot, so it's 50 grams. This, just to show you context of how little you need and how long it lasts. This is my pot that came in my starter kit, which I bought when I began as a consultant. So now, yes, we do have the sachets, but actually I use this every day. My husband uses it as well. He's got little patches of psoriasis on his elbows, and he uses it on that. And I've used it for parties in the sample pots as well. And I've still got loads left. So that is several months worth of dishing it out to many, many people and using it every day. It lasts forever. I still can't believe I'm on the same pot.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, yeah, the honey scrub for tonight, I think I went through 2.5 pots of that, which is exactly the same size. So yeah, that puts it in context. And while I remember, there were a couple of other questions as well. The rose toner was £16. The beauty sleep concentrate was £35. And Emma asked about oily skin and breakouts. Palmarosa is amazing for that. There's a whole Palmarosa range, which is amazing for sort of balancing the oils in the skin. And yeah, I would also just make sure you sort of go through the full skincare routine as well, and use the scrubs, and then you're sort of balancing your skin, making sure you've got rid of dead skin cells and things. So it's a regular routine. Sometimes oily skin is quite sort of dehydrated underneath. It's producing extra oils to sort of try and compensate. So it's just, if you have a sort of regular routine and find the right products, then it will sort of balance it. And actually, weirdly, I now use facial oils every night. So I use a facial oil, massage it in my night routine instead of a serum. And my skin has got a lot more balanced because it sort of balances your natural oils in the skin. So I sort of have it sort of combination. And I used to be quite oily T-zone. And it's actually more balanced since using facial oils, which has been a complete revelation for me. I just wouldn't have touched them because you just think, oh, well, oils on oily skin, disaster. But it's amazing what you find out when you do a job like this.
Yeah. If anyone's got any questions for Jen, please just put them in the chat. I'm going to ask a question here. And this is just a personal. So my 10-year-old has started getting into a little bit of makeup and sort of raised my wife's makeup kit every now and then. And this week, she was trying to remove some makeup and got some nail polish remover in her eye. So are these products, I mean, they're organic, right? Are they harmful in, like, you know, if you were to get a little bit in your mouth, for example, or your eye? I mean, are you kind of okay?
Yeah, I mean, it won't taste as good as it smells, that's for sure. But yeah, they're all 100% natural, and they're really transparent about the organic percentages as well. So on every single product, you've got the percentage organic. So like, I'll just show you here: Beauty Sleep Concentrate, 90% organic. And yeah, everything is natural. We sell an organic eye makeup remover as well, which I use. And yeah, I mean, I've got pretty sensitive eyes and they get quite dry as well. And I wear contact lenses. They're contact lenses that I actually leave in overnight. So I'm always taking my makeup off with my lenses in. And yeah, they're all fine.
Good.
Yeah, certainly better than nail polish remover, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I guess that brings us on to our last gin. So we've gone all out rose in line with Jen's last product, and we've gone for a Glendalough rose. So some of you will know the brand. We've showcased, I think, Glendalough once, maybe before. If you come to our shop, you'll definitely know Glendalough as a company. But this is the rose gin, and we added it in purely because it is all about rose. Now, Anthony, this is going to be floral, I will warn you. So be careful. And I think Shane put it in the chat, it's 37.5% on the alcohol. So we're dropping right down below kind of the 40% mark. And it is undeniably rose. 3 different types of rose. So Glendalough is from Ireland. It's in Wicklow, which is this beautiful, picturesque part of Ireland. If you've never been, you should go, and if you have been, you'll know exactly how beautiful it is. And the distiller there is a lady called Geraldine. She's a forager, and so she actually forages a lot of the ingredients and botanicals they use in their products, in their gin, from around you know the loch. So Glendalough means 2 lakes, 2 lochs, and there's loads of these great botanicals growing around there, and she actually uses them in her mix. It's the only place, so it's as fresh as it can be. So what she'll do is she'll go out in the morning, she'll pick loads of botanicals and then distill in the afternoon. So everything is totally fresh, and I don't know anyone else that does that. So one of the roses in this mix, she actually forages from around the distillery, and the others they source. But yeah, Shay's put it in the chat: Damps rose, wild rose, and heritage rose. And it's just beautiful. Like, I mean, you'd think it's too much rose because it's all just rose, but it's just very, very nice. It's really, really good. it's just a lovely, lovely nose, even though it is mostly rose. But let's go for a little taste. And what's unusual is actually quite dry. And you would think by the colour and by the amount of rose in there, you know, it's going to be quite a sweet drink. And especially the fact it's a lower ABV. But it is actually quite dry. So you get that lovely rose at the start. And then you're getting actually that gin that comes through at the end, the juniper. And a touch of citrus and some of those other sort of regular spices, cassia bark and so on, angelica root that you'd find in the gin. And to this, we're going to add our light tonic. So we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to go with the light tonic water. Okay, so just to be sure, that's the Mediterranean, much darker, and we're going with the light. And we're going to do 2 to 1 again. So if you've got 20 ml of gin, add about 40 ml of tonic. And yeah, for anyone that's new here and wondering why we don't add ice, normally, yes, if you're going to make a G&T, whatever size glass I've got, I'm going to fill it up with loads of ice before I make a proper G&T to drink. But for tasting purposes, we want to, you know, you want to taste the drink, right? You want to taste the gin, and we want to follow its journey from being neat up, you know, through the end process. So for that, ideally room temperature is where you kind of get the best flavors, aromas, and taste. So we just keep it neat, no ice. But as I said, if you're making this as a G&T after, then definitely add loads of ice. Yeah, so okay, Nicola's loving the gin. Anthony, yes, much better balanced. Okay, good. Now, still loads of rose. And it just opens up from just being very quite floral. And so let's get in the garnish and just kind of really just sort of, you know, amp everything up. So we're going to add some lime. So you've got fresh lime, and we're going to again do our squeeze and drop. So squeeze a bit of the lime over the glass, and let's just bring some citrus back into the mix. And you should have a piece of mint like so. So we just got a little bit of mint. I was going to give it a little rub with my fingers. Actually, that's quite a big bit. I'm just going to cut that in half. Just give that a rub and drop that in. So we've got rose. So we've got the lime and we've got mint with the rose gin. Now, it's tricky, right? Because if a gin has got so much flavour of one particular style, what do you add to it? And there's probably a number of things that you could do. But I just kind of took Glendalought's, you know, kind of perfect serve, if you like, and have gone with the mint as a garnish. But Ruth is too flowery. But let's try it now with the mint and the lime, and see what happens. See if that kind of pulls it in and reins it in a little bit back to something that that you might like. Already on the nose, I'm getting that lime come through, and I'm getting that mint come through. So I can see the drink has now changed and evolved. Yeah, for me, that's much better. Jen, did you get any mint? Did you get any mint by any chance?
No.
No.
But I've made a note of it. So every time you're mentioning garnishes, I've just been scribbling them down. So yeah. Okay.
Apologies. Stupidly, I forgot to add you into the email list. So I should have sent you all this beforehand.
Right.
But actually, yeah. So now with the mint and the lime, it's actually brought a bit of depth and a bit of, you know, kind of it's spread everything out, and you're not just about the rose now, and you actually got a drink that's evolved a little bit. So yeah, now it's something I would drink like that with that garnish. Just a simple 2 little bits there have made such a difference. So as I say, Glendalough from Wicklow in Ireland, a really nice gin, really nice company actually, and started by, you know, a group of friends who pretty much just decided they were going to make a distillery in Ireland, quit their jobs, and then decided how they were going to go about doing this. So they kind of just went all in, and they've come up with some amazing whiskies, some really good gins, and this one in particular, I think, yeah, is kind of paired right. It works nicely with the with some of the products that you've shown tonight.
Yeah, had to finish with the full-on rose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about rose.
Yeah.
This would make a lovely mojito. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, Paul, it actually would make something quite nice as a mojito in summertime. Yeah, brilliant. Good shout. The lime menu improved it for me. Good, Ruth. Excellent. I really like this one. Very light and nice with the mint. Yeah. Also, on this one, I think you've got a bit of license to play around with the tonic because there's so much flavour. I think you could go with maybe a pink grapefruit lemonade or a rose tonic from Fentimans, perhaps. We've gone with something quite simple just to keep that rose flavour without adding anything to it. But I'd say with this particular one, you could play around with certainly the mixer, and then add a bit some garnishes to it and see what happens. So, Jen, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really, really love the products. I'm sure the people have loved what you've done tonight as well. I'm just going to bring Shane in if we can get all three of us in. That would be really good.
Yep, I'm here.
Cool. So yeah, Shane, all these are on our Craft Gins website, right? They're all on Craft Gins?
I'm literally just now. So the two links I'm just posting here, guys. You've got the first one is a link to Jenny and her obviously product sales as well. So that's the first link you just see there, and then the second one there is for the next one, which I mentioned at the beginning, which is going to be for Mother's Day. So you can get in there tonight ahead of the sales going on tomorrow. And then all the gin products from tonight, I have just checked. So I think all on our website, including Wildcat, actually, because I did put it on there recently. The Pictures is on there, Sacred's on there, and Glendalough Rose. So if you use your code on the back of the taste guide you've got there, you'll see there's a code there, guys, that gives you 15% off any gins purchased tonight. And you just use the code. I think it says taste 15, I think is the code, and that'll give you 15% off. Like I said, I'm sure I've just checked, they're all on there. For any reason, if you have any problems, guys, just drop us a DM or an email, and we'll get those bottles ordered in for you. I think a lot of people are going to go for the Sacred Pink Grapefruit, but I think since we moved on to the Pictish, I think a lot of people might potentially order that as well, which is good. And just
I was going to say, this is on our YouTube channel, so if you need to come back, you can just look at the comments and it will be there. The links will be there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then on just a reminder there that the first one I posted there was a link to Jenny's info as well. And then I think that was it for the information. I'll just put it on the scroll bar as well, if you give me a sec, Jess.
Well, Jenny, you're actually joining us again, right? So we've already booked in, as Shane said, our next tasting with Jenny, which is Mother's Day. So this is a chance to buy, do something for your mum, buy a nice gift for your mum, and participate in the tasting. So we're actually doing a Mother's Day tasting on the 14th of March, right, Jen? That's what we're doing?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It would be really nice. I think it would be a really nice mix. So already got some of the products in my head. So if you like the honey and orange combination, there'll probably be a Be Lovely product in there, and there'll definitely be some more frankincense, and got some other things, and definitely something for the hands as well, because our hands need a little bit of TLC at the moment with winter and all the extra hand washing and sanitizing and things. And also for those offers that I put on the card for you all, if you want to contact me directly for any of those offers, so you won't be able to get those through my website. So use the website just to sort of browse and see what else you can get within those ranges. If you just, put frankincense in the product search bar and just see just how much frankincense there is. But yeah, send me a message if you've got any more queries about skin issues and advice that you'd like, different products, then just drop me a line. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, and to get the £5 off, just contact me directly and I'll sort the order out with you, because I won't be able to do that through the website. And also, if you want to know more about hosting a pamper party of your own, I usually do about sort of twice as many products and any sort of number of guests really that you want. So if you want to treat your parents, your friends, family, then find out more about that. And as a host, you get 2 gifts anyway, just for being a host, which right now you don't even have to get the Hoover out. It's all online. So I will chuck in an extra gift. So there you go. You've got freebies already.
Love it.
So yeah, but really excited.
Yeah, so look, we're really looking forward to our Mother's Day. We just need to work out a time. Actually, you know what? Some of you, if you have a time preference, I was kind of thinking earlier in the day rather than in the evening. But you know, let us know.
Yeah, if you've got any, if you want to put in the comments, guys, there's quite a few of you that have been active today. Just put in the comments, what time would you prefer, 7:30 or 5 p.m? Because in a normal world, with people being out, I think Jas might be correct that 5 p.m. would have been probably the right time. With everyone being now inside, maybe 7:30 is still a good time to do it. But if you guys can just put there in the comments if you prefer 5 p.m. or 7:30, we'll take the general consensus and do it at that time. I haven't actually put a time on the ticket products at the moment on our page, but it'd be good to get people's feedback.
Yeah. Also, guys, just some of the questions answered. We've got different products from Jen, haven't we? And we've got different gins. So when Jen tells us what products we're kind of definitely doing, we're going to then come up with a different range of gins. So we won't repeat anything that we've had tonight. It'll be completely different. So definitely another reason to join us because we showcase some other products as well.
Looks like I was right, Jas. I think the consensus is still 7:30, mainly because of kids going mental as well early in the day.
Right.
So we'll stick with 7:30 then. That's good. That works for us. So that's fine.
Remember, you have to buy 2 sets, right? Because you have to buy your mum a set as well. So Shane, maybe we can work out some sort of deal, right? If they're buying 2 sets, we'll give them a discount or something.
Yeah, well, I can't quite do it this second. Product
right now. But when we actually send the email out again, we could have something to say.
Yeah, if you're buying 1 set, you can jump ahead, guys, now and use the link to buy. If you are looking to buy more than 1, then maybe just hang off until the email tomorrow, and I'll try and sort something out.
Cool. All right, good. Jen, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for showing us your products and what you do. And I love the fact that you've innovated and, you know, being a musician and having COVID and lockdown, you've kind of just worked out a whole new business and revenue stream, which is great. So that was the other reason why it's really good to be able to showcase what you do. So yeah, we look forward to Mother's Day.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. It's good.
Amazing.
Thanks a lot, guys. And thank you to everyone for joining us. And don't forget, use your links there. And then we'll obviously see you at the next tasting. And we've also got a few of you on the tasting as well. Do join us for other spirits. We have got a couple of whiskey ones lined up. We're trying to confirm in a rum one. We're just trying to kind of really drill them down on a date. And that'll be relaunched soon as well. But other than that, we'll see you guys at the next one. Have a great week.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you.